Oh, I think I forgot to turn the camera on. Hello, everyone. Now the camera's on, but I'm gonna have to refresh it on OBS, but I have to get the bot working first. And then, oh, let's just do this. Oh, that's not gonna refresh it well enough. There we go. Hello, chat. Hello, Twitch. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, Merlin, Lil Poker, Bun Buns, Ozzy. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone there, but happy to see everyone in here. Let's see if I can't get things organized here a little bit. Is this pan dried out enough now? Yeah, I think so. I got frustrated enough today that I actually ordered the right size filters, even though I have a whole bunch of these smaller ones still in the house. I also caved and moved a fan, so I got a fan blowing on me now, so that might help out a little bit here during their things. Hopefully everyone's having a lovely Tuesday. Welcome into my first official normal Tuesday night. Wake up, cat. Start by rinsing my filter out here. I don't know if that vibration's coming through at all. The immersion circulator is making a little bit of noise. It's vibrating a little bit. Yeah, it is coming through a little bit on the stove when the mic is firing. Let's see if that fixes things. Bun buns. I missed that. So what I'm doing there is just my initial bloom of the coffee. We're gonna give that a good half minute, chilling out as I quickly wipe down the counter here, which I hadn't got to before the stream started. Then we do our first full pour. No, thank you. I will be doing some Taco Tuesdays, but there's some other people that have claim to fame to that, and I don't want to try and steal their... I don't even want to have the impression of trying to... the way streamer drama goes. Me too, Merlin. So I'm gonna make a Memphis-ish sauce. However, certain things are going to make it very much not a Memphis barbecue sauce, as in I intend to emulsify all the lovely juices and stuff from this barbecue in the bags into the barbecue sauce, along with some bourbon. And so we'll reduce that down and thicken that up and use that as our barbecue sauce along with some of the other typical ingredients. Oops, a little bit over there. I appreciate the sentiment, Merlin. In fact, I'm not even really into competing at all. There's a bunch of competitions out there, and there's even smaller ones here on Twitch, which oddly seem to be mostly sponsored by fast food, that I just have no interest. I have no interest in rushing around, especially for some nobody judge. Is that drained through yet? I'm trying to secretly wash out a pan here that I intend to use later on tonight. Nope. Hiding things from myself. Changing things around in the kitchen lately. Well, not too much, but... mostly consequences of moving the fan over here. Fan? Can you get the fan? Can we get the fan here, camera? Not really. But there's a fan right here. Are we there with our battle? Did I miss that? I don't have it in front of me. 9 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay. Where am I gonna hide you tonight? Getting low on half and half. Gonna have to buy some tomorrow. Quite a bit, Merlin. Now, this is not any gourmet coffee by any means. I buy some nice beans, maybe on the upper end of generally available. But you get into real coffees, like single origins coming from, much like wines, you get into single origins and stuff like that, you can get coffees that are like bright and acidic, almost like light teas and all sorts of lovely things. But this is just some not burnt coffee. Well, Folgers is also, especially if you're doing instant, I'm not sure. Do they do regular coffee these days? Is that their thing? I don't know. But they were originally instant coffee back in the day, and that's sort of like a trade thing. If you think about it, nowadays we have the price and the economy and the global power to be importing whole green beans that are fresh so that people can roast them locally versus them roasting everything all together at the location and then turning it into an extract that is then shippable at a much lighter weight and much cheaper overall because it's all centralized. So there's a lot of diversity in coffee. Cheers. A lot of people love Hawaiian coffee. Alright, 4 minutes on Stream Raiders. What are we going to get started with here first? Oh, I have another thing that I added to the menu here last minute because I'm going to boil the junk out of it. Not worry about it. But we've got our leftover pot juice from the greens and ham hock. and I have a can of beans. So those two are going to get mixed, even though it would be incredibly even better if you used that liquid to make dry beans. But we're going to use canned. So it's going to be a small extra dish, or canned side dish. And I'm going to do caramelized apples, but thinking of adding a little apple cider vinegar to go in with the whole barbecue theme. And if we have to, maybe thicken that up a little bit too, but sort of a sweet and sour caramelized apples. First thing I need to get going here is getting a bowl for making our tart dough. And let's get the flour first. And we're doing this bad boy yet again. Yeah, I'm gonna need brown sugar later anyways. If you want to go crazy, you could use some pecan or walnut flour here. I wouldn't use it entirely because you do want some flour in there. You do want some protein and all that goodness. So that awaits us after our battle. Nice, Bun Buns. That's awesome. Uh-oh. Oh, they took out our archer. Victory. Bothung getting those assists. Juandera getting the 10 gold. Ooh. Silver chest. Loyalty scroll chest. This is the one everyone wants to be in. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Or at the top, sorry. I'll be right back. I wasn't looking to do that, Ozzy. Can you fix that? Thank you, though, Ozzy. I appreciate you trying to keep me from slipping on that. I do also have a toggle button here for going between Stream Raiders and Food and Drink as my title. Or category, rather. So we did quests. We gotta do our daily store goodies. They give me more goodies because I actually participated, I guess. There. I don't know if I wouldn't be perhaps convinced by someone to use the weekly theme instead to, say, Taco Tuesday for a month, because most themes will probably fit into a taco at some point in some form. be overlapping viewer rewards with viewer rewards. We'll have viewer reward inception. Could you use melted butter here? I would not suggest that at all.
New weekly theme submission.
Is that tacos for a week, buns, or tacos on Tuesdays for a month? For a week, okay. Let's see here. We're beginning to pile up. We've got this month done, I think. Let's take a look at the calendar here. Can I get this to show okay? Is this... There we go. Over here, camera. Yeah. Okay. Even though it's sort of cutting me off, we are down to the 26th. Right around here. So we can do 26th to the end of the month of tacos. I think she's got enough for a couple more of these too, still. And she's still collecting them on top of that. No, what we want here, Ozzy, and the reason we don't want, going back to Ozzy's question about melted butter, the reason I'm cutting in cold butter straight from the refrigerator into this is that's going to help it be flaky, because we'll have little pockets of butter throughout our dough that then will bubble. Same theory as puff pastry, except we don't have the layers involved here, but it's still going to add incredibly to the flakiness of your end product. Doing a combination of lard and butter, that's up for debate. You make melted butter and flour, by the way, and it's mostly just going to get absorbed into the flour and won't give you much effect in any case. If you notice in many of my recipes, I'm mixing the butter with other stuff, like in cookies with the creaming method. You're very specifically mixing the butter with the sugar and making sure you're coating all of the sugar, and then mixing in the eggs and your wet ingredients and then the flour. So it's... yeah, there's chemistry, there's science, and there's a lot of ratios is really that. for what size you're doing and what temperature and yada yada yada. And so the last ingredient here is going to be some water. Nah, let's skip even measuring this. But I'm going to use cold water again. And I want to handle this about as little as possible, so I'm getting that all off my hands. It's also why I used that biscuit cutter or pastry cutter earlier, as it keeps my hand out of the mixture. Some people claim or think to have they have cold hands, and in my case I have very warm hands. Chocolatiers seem to think that too, that some people have cooler hands than other people. I don't know if there's any science, or we're all a little bit different, so I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility in my mind. I mean, everyone's probably got a little bit different circulation going, depending on a lot of factors. Okay, I think that's going to be good for what we need for that. I don't want to work this too much. In fact, I'm going to let this rest and let the dough, or let the flour and the dry products absorb those liquids. I've added no leaveners in there. There's no eggs in there. They're going to add as a leavener. Eggs are so... Why you find eggs in everything is because they're both... Well, they're a protein. I mean, they got a whole bunch of health assorted with them. But they're a protein, which means they're a binder. But they're also a leavener. When it comes to baked products, they'll poof up, they'll create air, there's a lot of steam action there, there's a lot of... And so that's why you see a lot of eggs in that, but I'm not putting any eggs in this, because this is just going to be crust. So this is going to go in the fridge for a little bit. Set that up there for later. Okay, what all am I making tonight? What the heck? What am I doing tonight? Mashed potatoes we gotta do a little bit later. Sweet and sour apples we can do a bit later. Let's get going with our beginnings of our barbecue sauce. which again, this is all going to... I'm going to start by cooking it down from what's in the bags with some vinegar. This is going to be the other stuff other than the vinegar in the barbecue sauce. Oh, hey. I needed some tomato paste. Stay closed, door. Start with some tomato paste. Ketchup, yellow mustard, hello Lexi, welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you. Fish sauce and Worcestershire sauce. Give that a mix up here. Now this is all the stuff that doesn't really need any heat, which includes our bourbon. Bourbon shots? Nah, I want to enjoy my bourbon. I want to sip on it. Alright, I'm giving in to temptation once. Where do I have a shot glass at? What did I do with my glass I was using for... Oh well, that went hidden somewhere. Let's pull up an old baby. Classic but a goodie. For any of those out there joining me, cheers. Yeah, it's not nearly as good. I mean, it's effective at getting drunk. Or getting a buzz, at least. But did make my coffee taste a little bit better. Add a little more vanilla in there. Alright, spices. Now that you've thoroughly confused me at where I am in my project here. Oh no, I don't do... Worked at a tobacco shop when I was in college. That was that corner store shop that I was talking about before. It was mostly a newspaper and lotto, though. It was a full-blown cigar and tobacco shop. Old Town, Rhinebeck, New York, when I was going to culinary school. All sorts of history there. And so we need seasonings. We got our garlic and our onion in there. We obviously want a little chili powder in there. Add some cayenne for some heat here. Pretty heavy on that. I'm going for some heat tonight with these ribs. Thank you, Ozzy.
Hey chef, how many cooks does it take to change a light bulb? 5. 1 to screw it in and 4 to tell you how they did it at their last restaurant.
Are you saying that I should stop streaming? Still at 65.5 degrees Celsius there. Not sure what all I want to get going here next. This is pretty good for what I want to go in there. The rest I'm going to heat up. Obviously the sugar I'm going to heat up to break it down. The vinegar I'm going to throw in there to cook with all of it, because that's going to break down flavor lovely, even if it only breaks down a little bit. And welcome in, Trigger. Happy Tuesday to you. we're actually sort of killing a little bit of time tonight waiting for our ribs. Even with an hour and a half with cooking this in the oven. That's also what we can do. We can do our filling for that. Start by cracking a couple of eggs. I guess I got an eggshell in one of my stock pots, at least from that sound. Save that for later. I'm gonna walk around the corner here in a moment, wipe my face off. About a third of a cup. I am doing quite wonderful today, Trigger. You remember how much work I went to getting that nice and clean the last time I did this? In fact, so much so that I'm going to use a spoon this time. It's a little hint of honey, basically, along with a little hint of actual molasses and some brown sugar in here. Mix our liquid sugars and our egg together there until it looks essentially one color. And then we'll do our battle. Victory. Suki and Ozzy getting the kills and assists there. Colorful Peanut Patrol getting the 200 gold. That's a nice pickup. Ozzy getting scrolls. I'm gonna start just above this big dude. I don't mind if I kept put stuff here right next to him. Not quite there. Why does he keep going back to rarity? No. Trying to get our warrior there. We're about a third of the way there. I'm not going to use this spoon again. I am going to. Use that later. Don't knock over stuff. Salt. Nutmeg. No, it's not spawning a ton of enemies, Ozzy. Oh, hey. More bourbon. I think that's a little quick, Ozzy. Put more alcohol into our drink here is a little vanilla. Alright, so that is our mixture along with our pecans. This is waiting for ribs to be out. Beans, I can do it basically in time. Let's prep potatoes. Potato prep time. No, we're very much against the excessive consumption of alcohol here. My only real interest in including alcohol on the stream is for culinary or for enjoying it with food. So even taking the occasional shot is a bit of a stretch. I have plenty of friends and family, extended family, that have had their fair share of issues with alcohol, and I don't care to join them. And so I'm cutting up the potatoes nice and small here. Not so much for cooking time, not so much for even cooking, but to break down the skins. So I have lots of small pieces of skin in my potatoes. You don't get any big pieces, which is really what's annoying to me. Also, the whole drinking and cutting. Not the greatest combo, especially considering what alcohol does to your blood. Taters. Cold water. And I don't want it to just cover, especially since I cut them pretty small. I'm going to mostly fill this pan up. And we're going to bring it to a boil on the front burner. putting that away, knowing that I'm probably going to use that next. And we'll get those started. And I think I'm going to go back to doing dough here next, because I want to get our tart into the oven. Also means I'm going to get the oven started warming up. "14 minutes on Stream Raiders." And this is a pretty wet dough. I added a bit too much water to this, but it is workable. I lucked out. Merlin. Alright, now making sure that I've got that all nicely, for sure, sealed all the way around. Start in the center. And just use the actual edges of the pan itself as a cutter in both directions here. Starting at the middle, because if you start at either end, you're going to have trouble with the flap in which direction the dough is. Yeah, it's a bit wet of a dough. And it's a little bit thicker than the last batch I did, but it's still, I think, going to be a nice home for our other ingredients here. And I am not going to blind bake this tonight. And immediately cleaning this from all the raw egg. The spring or a coil whip or whisk. It's a recent gift of mine off of my gift list, which it's good for tight and constrained whipping. It's good for sauces and stuff like that. I'm actually got another one on my list right now. That's the next whisk that I want to have, which is a ball whisk, which is great for emulsions apparently. But I recently also have this one too, which is Swedish whisk, or is it Swiss or is it Swedish? But very good for doing dry doughs or keeping doughs mixable much longer than typical other instruments. Sort of a it's sort of a protective layer here from the rest of our ingredients. You especially do this when you're blind baking it. I'm doing it tonight regardless. Is putting a layer of egg or egg white and it's sort of the barrier or mayo of our dessert sandwich. Wait till you see the ball whisk. You'll think it's well, I'll let you use your own imagination if you look at it. making sure going up on the sides, so it means I'm essentially egg washing my entire crust here. What, was it something I said? In that case, I feel sorry for your missus or mister. Or hey, whatever you choose. Now here's the question, folks. Is that going to overflow on me tonight? Because I haven't even finished filling it. Let's clean up our counter here first. Let's not keep everything a mess and just add messes to messes. Two minutes on Stream Raiders. Last chance to get a unit out there. I know it's really more like 3 minutes when I say 2 minutes, because it says 1 minute and then it counts down the seconds after a minute. So 1 minute is really 2 minutes. But with the delay being probably somewhere around 30 seconds between what I'm saying and you seeing it, it sort of compensates. And so it's probably more like 2.5 minutes when I'm telling you, oh, it's 2 minutes, but whatever. It's always fun when we get to include a little innuendo in nightly stream. Now I could save this and use this for making some decorations across the top or something like that. I'm not going to tonight, because we have pecans still to add to this party. And I'm just gonna sort of add them and float them on top here, hopefully. I know typically in your pecan pie recipes, You just mix them in. Appreciate you hanging out with us, Merlin. Battle. One kill and 1 assist. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate you all hanging out. But I'm sort of making fun of the game not having any mobs for us to kill. Which Ozzy sort of pointed out earlier. There ain't nothing on that map. Colorful Peanut Patrol getting the 50 gold. Congrats to you. Thank you for all your help on that map. Let's see if we can't get a better battle this time here. This one's at least saying it's hard. We got a bunch of small stuff out there. I think I'm going to start right there. And we'll do Vibe Square there. Generally does a pretty good job of guessing how many to do, but you're right, it's been off a little bit here lately. It's not been the closest thing. Like you said before, if potatoes came up to a boil, I'm gonna put those in the back just to hang out now. And no, it doesn't really do it during the map. I wish they actually sort of did that, Ozzy. There are maps where they say more enemies will appear as time progresses, which some of those maps are sort of cool. But at the same time, when you're starting out planning it, there's not a whole lot of planning you can do. Just sort of say, hey, I'm starting here. I don't know what's going to show up. But it is better for having a more equal battle as far as what we're actually fighting. Yeah, they already tried to do that, Ozzy, but yeah. Like I was saying, they haven't been too successful. I think a fair number of people would say that I'm putting these pecans in upside down because I'm putting them in inside out is the best way I can explain it. I mean, you can have two halves to a whole when it comes to one of these, and this is the inside to it that I'm putting outside here. I mean, you already hit it before, Ozzy, when you were saying when you lose a battle, there was a couple nights ago, I think it was you that was saying this, that if you lose a battle, typically it's a little bit easier on the next one. It goes the whole way for everything. Like, if you have a wonderful turnout, I have a feeling that you're going to have a few more mobs to kill. But I don't know, I haven't seen a whole lot of lately. I haven't watched really in ages what some of the bigger stream raiders streamers are doing, or what their maps are like. Sort of just floating these pecans on top like they're little boats. And busy little harbor. Or river. River of pecans and sugar with a little egg, which the egg has got me worried how much this is going to poof. Ah, you only said it was one more day. You got this. Do I do a busted little piece in the corner here? Or somehow shift these just a little bit? We'll just do one weird one in the corner. A lot better than a lifetime. I have, or had, family that were diabetics. My grandmother was a diabetic, and she very much did not enjoy those little needles. Awesome bun buns. Yeah, I guess these days a lot more diabetics have things a little more easier and automated. No, bun buns, I've been sort of procrastinating getting to them. We're at 6 o'clock here, which is just about time to throw our pie in the oven. Or I say pie, but our tart. And so carefully transferring this from board to pan here, getting all the dough off, making sure we get all the dough off of the edges here. And then again, carefully putting this into our preheated oven. Take this down to 375. I set it to 400 to start. We'll take a look at that in about 30 minutes. But speaking of the actual unveiling of the ribs out of the sous vide, we're actually pretty close here. Pretty close. No, Merlin, although I have done so before. Your thumb's distance from the bottom of the table. It's actually pretty simple, pretty standardized for most cases. A lot of it's a little bit varied depending on what sort of specific silverware and stuff you have. But generally it's tricks like I was just saying there with my thumb, where you put your finger at the first knuckle and then all your silverware is at that distance. And bomb your plates from that distance. Or they'll have tools in the same case. Fine dining places will sometimes they'll take the plastic cutting boards and they'll cut them down in specific shape for everything so they can set that against the table and put everything down proper and walk away from it. That's all for setup, not in front of people. That's like the quick setup for like in between service, and the day after, that sort of a thing. There's also a lot of techniques about like replacing tablecloths without showing the table. Because even in fine dining places, you have a lot of tables that are made of like plywood. And so in order to not show off the wood, you can replace the tablecloth with a certain style and method so no one in the place can see what your actual tables are made of. It's a lot of it, Ozzy. Very well. I don't want to say OCD because I don't want to. That's a very specific thing, but yeah, it's a very exacting thing a lot of the time. All right, so I think we got our potatoes pretty much going there. I'm gonna give them a little more heat. I'm gonna put a low flame underneath that. We have our bean mixture here. Put into those beans. And for our apples, we need to do some onion. This onion almost came self-peeled. These sweet onions, the peels on them are rather thin. Ah, fan. Is this messing up my audio at all over here? I don't hear it much in my ear, but... Man, time flies. Already halfway done with our time in Stream Raiders. Nice, Merlin. I don't listen to a ton of music outside of streaming. I do love having it on, I just never really think to do so. I usually got 500 other things trying to get my attention and are successful other than when I'm streaming. Well, then what's a kerfluffle? No answer for that one? Come on, chat. You have Google. Or whatever search platform you prefer. Apparently today's children search more on TikTok than they do on Google. I have before, Merlin. I've cooked Merlin, I've cooked rabbit on Easter. On stream. But I think I've even cooked rabbit once since Bun Buns has been around too. That was a couple of years ago. No, I cooked a bunny. You know, other than maybe sour cream and that, I don't know if there's any cheese in tonight's dinner at all. I'm gonna reuse the spatula here for our onions. I'm cooking these onions together, but I'm using them for two separate recipes here. And to save myself the hassle, and since we're going semi-savory with these tonight, I'm gonna leave the skins on for my apples. Cold water. Favorite cheese? I think that's pull-worthy. Those onions are cooking and I need to turn them. But I'm almost done with my apples. Okay, heat off of that pan. I am now going to add... Oh, I'm actually going to do a majority of these into this liquid over here. And the rest of these sweet onions are going to get apples in with them. Once I cook that all up, cut that all up. I'm going to turn the heat on here with our onions and leftover greens goodies. Myself, Ozzy, if we're going to skip Parmesan, which is the obvious favorite for many, whether they think about it or not, actually, now that you make me think about it, I mean, because there's some damn good blue cheeses. My initial thought was going to be Gouda, just in general. But, you know, and then you think about things like Brie and Gorgonzola and St. Auger, and Havarti is pretty damn good too, if you're doing it at least for sandwiches. But it's good stuff. Good stuff. And even with all that, there's some things that American cheese is just, regardless of the fact of American cheese being oil with cheese flavor, there's some things that I want American cheese on too. Just so like I'm one of those strange people that Canadians hate that prefers golden syrup to actual maple syrup, even though I'll use maple syrup. Ozzy. So we have a mess down here. Do we have a mess down there? Still got about 9 minutes or so on the tart in the oven from my initial 30-minute timer. Glancing at it and how it's looking now, I'm gonna still do that full time, but I kicked the heat down, or I took the heat down from 375 to 325. We got everything going fast here on the oven. I'm gonna turn on the stove. I'm gonna turn the heat off on that because we just need to heat up the beans, and with that to finish it basically. And we need to get along here with our sweet and sour apple. I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar. Do I not have a flame on that anymore? Let's put a flame on that for sure. Okay. I put a pretty good splash in there. Let's do another good splash in there. A little splash of water. And let that reduce down with our apples. And I add some brown sugar in there and a little bit later. Ozzy, you're pushing things. You're pushing things. We still got what? It's not 7 o'clock yet. I look at 3 different watches and not see a time at any of them till the third one. We still got another 30 minutes on that. Even though I was thinking of pulling them out here. I'm sort of thinking of holding on longer because you're pushing me. Well, they are supposed to be 48-hour ribs. I mean, granted, they're going to get a little more cook time in the oven. But, I mean, we have to wait for the tart anyway. So we got some white beans that I will let drain off on the sink here. We'll cheat and use the edge of the sink to allow them to drain, along with the lid. I've been teasing them for 48 hours. Not every hour, but I guess no one's catching on that I did a tie-in from Sunday to Tuesday with 48-hour ribs on the first official Tuesday. Can isn't exactly draining where I wanted it to. Getting bean juice all over my counter. Last thing for our savory apples, other than reducing down, just a little hint of sesame oil. Now, coffee's bean infused liquid. Okay, heat off here now, and just allow that to sit in the hot pan. We'll maybe have to heat that up to serve it, but otherwise we'll just let it sit for now. So we'll add our beans to our pot liquor from our greens last stream. Just smells like bourbon. So it's poofed up nicely. I do expect this to settle a bit, so these cracks in between the nuts here should settle a little bit. Got some nice browning to our crust. I think that's nice. And yeah, and when I say poof, I mean it's got somewhere around a half inch of rise there above the crust right now. Here, let's see if I can somehow show that to you folks. So you can see it's risen quite a bit. Ozzy doing a sprinkle giveaway for any of you trying to get those sprinkles for the eventual giveaway once we get to 1,000 followers, or if you want to do a theme for the stream, which I think a lot more people are more intrigued by right now. What's next? I'm okay with that. Do we have a flame underneath this? Let's start heating up our beans a little bit. Let's put a small flame underneath them. Not a super small flame, but a small flame. I think it's time to finally take these ribs out of the immersion circulator. Actually, no, we want this down here. That one can go up there. But you can see it's already fallen quite a bit, and they are starting to close up a little bit. I expect that to actually settle, hopefully just underneath the crust. Where am I going to put the juices? A little warm from that oven exhaust. No one gonna enter the sprinkle giveaway? We have no takers at all? All you have to do is type, what is it, giveaway? Yeah, we changed it to giveaway. So we have cooked ribs there. Okay, time to go home. Okay, I'm gonna actually allow these to cool down a little bit. Because just letting them cool a little bit, we let them cool down from, say, the 300-ish that they're almost here. Or sorry, no, they're a solid 150 degrees right now. If we allow those to settle down a couple of degrees, they'll hold together a little bit better for our next steps. Let's do our battle, which I have been ignoring, apparently. I'm sorry for that. I don't know how this is going to unfold, but I'm trying to use haste a little bit less in the game. Bun buns. Getting them sprinkles. Victory. At Lepa and Average Joe getting our kills and assists there. Honorable mention to myself and to Colorful Peanut Patrol for getting some kills there. And the scrolls go to Colorful Peanut Patrol. Onto the boss. Unless you want to delay things and go down to the other boss. What do you want, folks? Do you want to go for the guy dude, or we want to do two more? Direct to the boss. Alright, let's kill the boss. I'm gonna start right next to this weaker big dude. We'll get him out of our way on the way over the other one. We won't worry about the small little guys. Yeah, maybe if someone wants to do some sacrificial units to keep them occupied before we come and go after them in the main force, have at it, folks. Alright, let's see how this goes for our first one of these. Go back to cooking here. Let's try pulling out our first set of ribs here. Can I even pull these out without removing? Awesome. So all of this goes into the pan up there. rinse, repeat. Have a fair amount of fat here that's come off of the... I mean, there's a fair amount of fat on these. Just... I mean, ribs are fatty, but these are exceptionally fatty as far as ribs are concerned. And then we have half a stick of butter in each of these bags. So there's some butter in the liquid. There's some fat from the beef in the liquid. And then there's some juices from the beef as well. Oh, come on. Okay. Same process again. Well, just put this all in the pan. Apples off of the stove since they're essentially done cooking. And we'll put our liquid here to be reduced from all of those ribs. While we were in the battle, the beans and pot liquor from the greens came to a boil, and so I'm going to consider that infused and just allow them to stay there. We may warm them up just to serve. On last stream on Sunday night, we made the greens, we made the cabbage and the collards, and along with the ham bone and the chicken stock. That is the remaining liquid, with some sweet onion that I sauteed and a can of beans. Mostly right now waiting on our... Nothing to be sorry about, Bun Buns. Mostly waiting on our liquid here to boil and come to a reduction until... so that I can do more loveliness with this. I am going to kick the oven on to 400 degrees. And we're going to allow these to rest here until we're ready to do them. But I am going to give them, once that oven comes up to temp and once we have our barbecue sauce put together, we've combined this liquid. I'm going to give these about 10 minutes in the oven just to even just dry them out a little bit and temper them maybe because they're starting to cool. And then we'll add the barbecue sauce on them. So right now they just have garlic, salt, pepper. I put some soy in the bag. I put some butter in the bag. And I said I was going to add some vinegar to this, which we need to add some vinegar to this. Not going to be too shy with that either. nothing that was in the apples is going to be conflicting with this. That's why I'm not worried about using the same spatula in both. I have used all my spatulas tonight. Oh, Google. Ooh, do I still have some of those? No, I don't. Okay. I don't remember going through those. But I was sort of thinking maybe a little pimento? Mostly smells of the reducing liquid here, which is, if you've smelled reducing vinegar, that's sort of overpowering a lot of what's going on there because we're putting that into the barbecue sauce. You would think it would smell better than it does in here right now, is the honest answer. I am certain that pecan pie smells, or pecan tart smells amazing. It's essentially a pecan pie, just in a tart shape. And the beef is not giving off a ton of smell right now. Reduce. Reduce sauce, reduce. Let's see if I completely ruined these beans or made something quite amazing here. I want some of that pot liquor in with our beans to get the whole experience here. It's mighty tasty. of that needs some salt. Maybe hit it MSG. We'll do some pepper too. We'll hit it with all three. And it needs a bit more savory note. Needs a bit more salt to bring out all those flavors. And pepper, because why not? Beans and weenies. I don't think of it as a major part of my childhood, so it isn't a huge thing for me. But I can see that being a huge childhood memory thing for people. Or a chopped up hot dog in them, yeah. There's nothing really to not like about it. But to me, it's, beans and hot dogs. It's not like, it's some of those dishes are just comfort food. Because you've had them, for years as a kid or something. Or there's some strong memory of them as a child. May not even have been a regular thing. There you go, Bun Buns. Yep. It's like 1 month out of the year, this month that we're in right now, when we get the giant light issues on the cutting board coming in from the kitchen. It happens twice a year, so 2 months out of the year, that I actually feel like I need another light in this kitchen. And it's the only time that I feel I need an extra light. I see so many other streamers and so many other video people with so many lights everywhere. And I do have a well-lit kitchen with lots of sunlight, but I don't know, I can see myself spending that kind of money on a light. Ozzy, chicken butt. We're getting there on our sauce. As I always like to say, you notice the bubbles are lasting longer and they're getting bigger before they pop, which means there's a thicker liquid. Chicken thigh? Chicken butt's actually an old meme of the stream. We were joking one night so bad about chicken butts and actual chicken butts on stream that a fellow streamer, this is back in Mixer days, that a fellow streamer went and made a chicken butt anime. Or no, it was right when we started on Twitch. And they made a sticker for chicken butt on their stream. Wheel time. And that means not just to, use the emote in chat, which using the emote in chat is perfectly welcomed. But it also means it's time to actually get up off of that computer chair. Move that butt, do a couple of squats, stretch, do your chair yoga if you don't want to get up. But move your body. Alright, so adding the rest of our barbecue ingredients. Barbecue sauce ingredients. In with that in the pan. We'll get ourselves a whisk. Mix that up well. Okay, so we got our barbecue sauce. Most of the way here. We're going to give this a strain. Because there's lovely little charred bits of stuff from with the beef. So with the strainer, probably from the amount of butter in this, and with all the fat from the beef in there, you can see this is a bit broken. It's still going to work lovely as a sauce, but it's not 100% emulsified. That's just because we're taking time and care, Merlin. Ah, bonbons. Always with the compliments. Even when no one else sees them. So we'll save that for covering our beef a bit later. Sunlight's just driving me nuts now. We're still doing good back here with our potatoes. Our potatoes still nice and warm. Oh, forgot. I'm drying this pan out. But this is now ready, so I think I'm going to throw the ribs in for the initial 10 minutes of heating up to essentially dry them out, basically. You can see now that it's cooled here. It's settled. Those cracks have filled. It's looking a little more rustic with how even the nuts are in it. Trying to get the light here right for that. Ozzy. Nice. How we looking at our battle? We got 5 minutes until our battle. I think that's probably just enough time to get going with our potatoes. Let's see, we got anything still usable in you? That is looking and smelling fine. Oops. Just a quick strain on the potatoes. Thank you for the follow. We'll hit our potatoes with a bit of salt. Bit of MSG. Black pepper. Cut the heat on the butter. I like lots of pepper on my potatoes. There's got to be one that I can quick use here. I have noticed that, Will, you're always in chat before stream or at the very beginning of stream, too. I figure most people watching streams, there's a fair number of kids that watch streams, but of the more adult world, I think a fair number of us are watching streams. I sort of compare them to soap operas. Like, back in the day, you had the soap operas on while you're sitting around home doing the laundry and cooking and doing all the home things. I don't know, some people may have a negative view on soap operas. I think that's mostly due to the low level of actual acting going on, or their budget. But that's still sort of true for streaming too. I mean, there is some truth to the saying, if it ain't broke, you ain't streaming. There's always something to fix. There's always something to change. There's always something new to add. There's always some new update. So there's our mashed potatoes. Awesome, Will. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you, Will. Greatly appreciated.
Appreciate you and the streams, sir.
Trying to get it all off of this. A little bit's a lost cause. Alright, mashed taters. Not 100% smooth, but certainly not chunky. And that black on that is why I do not put pans on my cutting board. Or at least dirty ones. Let's pull our ribs out here. See what we got in our first 10 minutes. And so now is the time to add the barbecue. So we'll take our broken but beautiful barbecue sauce here. And baste that all over the top of these. Now, the one downside to doing this sous vide versus in the oven when it comes to barbecue is in barbecue, if you're doing that low and slow in the oven or in a smoker, you can build a nice crust of sauce on there. And we're not going to do nearly that much time in the oven. We're just putting a light coat on everything. And then maybe a second coat. But beyond that, we're going to risk cooking our meat too much because we're doing it at relatively high heat. I'm going to throw those in for another 5 minutes like that. Ooh, we got a battle ready to go. Let's do our battle. Now we only got the small stuff left. We got a couple of chicken with frying pans. I think we got this. This is looking like a win here, folks. Victory. Ozzy getting those assists. Ventorious helping out with the killing. Colorful Peanut Patrol and SoCal Ozzy getting the scrolls. Boss defeated. Let's see, there's no crossover at all here. So we have to figure out which we want to start with. We've got silver chests on both. Got a blue chest here too. So I think I'm going to take the top route. And we're starting. I'm going to start at the top here. I don't know if this is really the best plan, but it's what I'm going with. We'll see how this goes in 30 minutes. May not be good. It's going to be our last battle of the evening, though. Thank you for all joining in. Back to the board here. Got another 2 minutes almost until we take our ribs back out and give them another basting. Happy with the beans. Happy with the potatoes, I know already, too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Will's always generous with the bits. Greatly appreciate that. That's pretty good. That's... Like, I mean, I know... I might start adding vinegar in with my caramelized apples. The sesame oil is not really present there, but it's a hint. Like, you wouldn't notice it unless I told you it was there. Having to be careful now because I'm starting on the tips and stuff where there's not a whole lot holding things on. The meat's falling off. So, this is sort of a delicate process at this point. At the same time, you do want to make sure you get all those tips and delicate parts because they're the most likely to burn unless you add a bit more sauce to keep them cool. Just almost barehanded that. Hey, Epic Chaos. How you doing tonight? Wishing I had some spray sour cream right now. Or rather, whipped cream right now. Because this needs just a little bit of whipped cream with it. Just a little bit of whipped cream with that. Still slightly warm. Let's see if I can get this to pop out of it wants to stick a little bit. Go. I have been well. Thank you for that follow. Actually, we want that to be like that. I told everyone it was the last Stream Raiders map, and I think everyone ditched us for the last map. That is other than Ozzy. Ozzy be hanging out strong with us tonight. And we'll give it another 20 seconds. Ribs. Which one do I choose? Which one do I choose? Which one do I choose? Hiding those potatoes. That's even bigger than I thought it was. And while I moved it with them. These bones are ready to come right out. They just need a little bit of help, just a little bit. Which I think is just about perfect. I'm loving these beans still. Apple's awesome. That's gonna be awesome. We got 17 minutes on Stream Raiders, folks. I think in lieu of sitting here for 17 minutes, instead of me going and enjoying the rest of these ribs while they're nice and warm, I think I'm going to finish the last battle here off stream. We have anyone guiding the raid tonight? Let's take a quick look and see who's out there in the streaming world this evening. Oh, hey, why don't we... Why don't we return a favor here? I enjoyed hanging out with all you lovely folks. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I'm gonna send all you lovely folks to go hang out with Andrew Cooks. He gave us a raid the other day. He's another lovely food and drink streamer here on Twitch. him and his partner do a whole bunch of foods. They both drink a wide variety of beers on stream. Cool dudes. Decent stream. Decent food. I think they're doing some more pizzas. They just recently they were talking, they just got a pizza thing, so I think they're doing a whole bunch of pizzas. So that's where we're headed now. I'm gonna be doing goji berries as my ingredient challenge tomorrow night. So I hope you come back and join me for that, 4:30 Pacific. I hope you all have a great evening otherwise. Good night.